Hello, my gentle viewer. Namaste. You ever try yoga? Okay. I'm just gonna start talking. Hi, everybody. Garth, Justice, Video Massacre, Mike Patterson, Andy, Keith, Gary, Shadow Crow, everybody. Film trauma. I forget. I feel bad for leaving people out, but Saturn. I don't know who else to talk, but I'm just gonna talk. I know what I was gonna do. I have some movies I want to review. This might go on for a while, but I got a letter from Mike Patterson. Let's just dive into it. September 23rd, 2023. Started at coffee shop, ended in King William's area. Dear Artie, Saturday morning, but barely. It's near noon. I slept in for the first time in a real long while. It was nice getting up at 9:30, but it's already hot. I missed the cool post-dawn hours for my walk. It was worth it. You ever see that old TV series V? It came out when I was like 7 or 8 years old. It totally scared the crap out of me. I only remember 2 images of it at this point, when the politician peels his face off to show his scaly face underneath, and some lady eating a canary live. Not sure why I brought that up. Just seems topical, I guess. Back in my late teens, I rewatched V. I seem to remember it boring as all get up. Maybe it deserves a rewatch. I'm pretty sure young Robert Englund is in it. Yeah, I remember V when it came out. It was like an event. There was like the movie that was in 2 parts, and then they had a TV show, which wasn't as good, and maybe like a sequel. Yeah, I've watched again. The movie is kind of like pretty low. I mean, it's like a Earth invasion, as I say, low stakes, but nothing really happens. But yeah, I remember the way the aliens looked under how they peeled their face off, and I think the lady ate actually like a guinea pig or something. But yeah, it's pretty good. They did like a new series, man, I don't know, like 2010, and I remember I caught like, it was already ending when I caught it. Okay, so whatever, next subject. Did you know Brujeria has a female singer now? No, I did not know that. Not sure if this is old news, but when TZ shared that with me, it was news I didn't know. My pals and I used to love Brujeria, the Raza Odiada album. Back when I was a freshman in college, Santa Fe, New Mexico, I was blasting it in my dorm room with my door open. Kind of rude, but maybe I thought the art school kids might like it. Sure enough, I hear footsteps running down the hallway, and another student I hadn't met stopped in my doorway. I was sure he was going to tell me to turn it down. Instead, he was, "What is this? This is awesome." I invited him, showed him the CD case, and at that point, we became casual buddies. His name was Eric, and he was a big metalhead. I liked metal, but I liked and still do most of all genres, I hear. Eric was much more so than me, and had been to tours of shows back when he was in high school. Eric didn't have a car, and Santa Fe rarely caught any touring acts. Suicidal Tendencies did play our college. That was special. Any touring act playing New Mexico usually played Albuquerque. I did have a car. Eric made an awesome proposition to me. Whenever a metal band came to Albuquerque, he would buy us both tickets if I'd drive us. I got to see a bunch of live shows for free and got exposed to stuff I probably wouldn't have otherwise. Over those 2 semesters, I thought it was a Z, but over those 2 semesters before he switched schools, we went down to Albuquerque nearly every month. I got to see Propane, Pissing Razors, Napalm Death, and so many others. Eric was a real fanboy, and part of every trip had to include trying to meet the bands after the gigs. Mostly we did. It was cool. They were also friendly and nice despite the aggressive nature of their music. I remember one time sitting on the hood of somebody's car in the back parking lot shooting the breeze with some other dude sitting on the car. Eric was off hovering around the tour bus for autographs and pictures. Ultimately, he didn't succeed and came over to the car I said I'd be waiting at. He stopped halfway to me and just watched me and this guy sitting on the car together laughing and joking with each other. Turns out he was starstruck and he froze up. I said adios to the guy I was sitting with and told Eric it was time for us to drive the hour north to Santa Fe. Walking in my car, he was like, "You know who you were sitting with?" I didn't know who it was, just thought it was another fanboy. Turns out I casually shot the shit with the front man for Pissing Razors. I didn't even clue in, silly me. I just watched him play for an hour. I thought it was just another metalhead. The dude was real friendly. I think it meant more to Eric than me, and I always found it funny it was my coincidence and not his. Anywho, not sure where Eric is these days. Hope you're good, Eric. I wish I could remember his last name. He was in the college's writing program, and he wanted to be a horror writer. He gave me one of his short stories, and it was pretty good. I still remember the title, 1 Million Tiny Mouths to Feed, 1 Million Tiny Eyes to See, or something like that. It was real Lovecraftian. I wonder if Eric still writes. I bet it's good stuff if he does. Well, I had no idea I'd be writing about Eric when I started this stream of consciousness letter. Glad I did, though. Hadn't thought of that dude in years. Thanks for all the free concerts, my metalhead buddy. Best wishes to you, Eric. So, Artie, I wonder if you have a favorite that guy actor. Do you know what I mean? They tend to have side roles, but are in so many films you start to be like, hey, isn't that guy? So I thought of this question, and like character actors. I mean, there's so many good ones, but I really like. I have thought about this for ages. Two of my, just off the top of my head, two of my favorite actors are they're like De Niro clones. James Russo. I think his name is James Russo or John Russo. God damn it. John or James Russo. Oh man, I can't catch my breath. And Elias Koteas. Elias Koteas, he was Casey Jones in the 1990 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and he's done so many roles since then, but I'm trying to think of what other movies he's been in. I can only think of Super, and he was in that werewolf movie Skinwalkers. But yeah, Elias Koteas, he's just like a De Niro. Like, he does it so good. And then I always thought he should have been in more movies, because like leads are just like more prominent roles. Because like if you can't get De Niro, like who do you get? Okay, if you can't get Pacino or Hoffman, you know, and John Russo, James Russo, he's just a great bad guy. He was in a movie with De Niro and Sean Penn, We're No Angels, where he's the bad guy. And then he was in the movie where he treats Madonna like a piece of garbage, which I loved. I can't remember the name of the movie. It's oh my god, I can't remember his name. The director of King of New York. I have it right. Can't remember the director's name, but James John Russo is in that, and now they're almost as old as De Niro now. Oh Jesus, I thought of another one, Demian Bashir. He was the bad guy that Danny Trejo had to keep alive in Machete Kills, and he was like the best part of that movie. He was also in The Hateful Eight, and he was in The Nun, the first Nun. I like him. He's such a character in Machete Kills, and he'll never be the star, but Demian, those are just off the top of my head. And hopefully if I have time to review it, Expendables 4, Iko Uwais. I'll try to, if I have time, I'll get into it. But yeah, James John Russo, Elias Koteas, Demian Bashir, and Costas Mandylor. This is weird names. Elias Koteas, see, that's like Greek, I think. Costas Mandylor, I don't know what that is. Okay, But he says, okay, like he says, they have side roles, but are in so many films you start to be like, hey, isn't that guy? A super well known that guy could be Dick Miller. Yeah, Dick Miller. By Garth, hey, just what you see, pal. Hey, get to close early today. Hey, you can't do that. I think we all know and love him well by now, maybe. Mine is Miguel Ferrer. What's yours? Do you have a few? Okay. Well, it's lunchtime now, or so my stomach is telling me. I wish San Antonio had more pizza by the slice places where the pizza was actually good. Sounds tasty right now. Out of space here, buddy. Wait. Oh, that's it. Out of space, your buddy Patterson. Oh, did I read all that? Yeah. So, thanks, Patterson. I'm gonna send you an email. But, yeah, who's you watching? Who's your favorite character actor? Okay, I don't know what to review. I just finished watching. Okay, I'm gonna. Me and Garth went to watch The Expendables 4 today, and I'll just tell you, it was not good. I went in. I had watched Brad Jones' review of it, and pretty much Brad Jones is actually one of the best reviewers around. And pretty much everything he says I agree with, and he didn't like it. So I was like, God damn it. I almost didn't want to go see it, but I was like, it's got Aiko and it's got Tony Jaa in it. So I gotta support them. So we went to Casablanca. It's this theater. I've never been there before. It's really nice. It's huge. So went to see it, and I was okay. I like Stallone. I like Dolph Lundgren. It was cool just to see Dolph sitting there. He has a wig on. He's a genius, like a genius level IQ. I like Statham. Statham's great. I just noticed the team. The team was Randy Couture. We talk about his ears a lot. 50 Cent. Some Mexican dude. I thought it was supposed to be like Banderas' son from when he was in it. I don't know. Small team, which is actually kind of better. And it started out okay. Just an attack on a chemical plant in wherever Libya. I think it was Libya. And you see Aiko right away, and I was like, yeah, Aiko, man. Dude, if you haven't seen The Raid, or The Raid 2, or The Night Comes For Us, man, Aiko is he's the greatest, man. But, and I'll just cut to the chase. You have Aiko Uwais and Tony Jaa in a movie, and they did not utilize them to their maximum potentiality. Dude, The Raid is so awesome, Tony Jaa is so awesome. And I just wonder, how come, is it Stallone? Is it the director? The studio? Why don't they let these guys do what they do best and just show off how they kick ass? Aiko has the final fight with Statham. I think for 4 seconds you get to see Aiko unleash on him. But then Statham beats him, and it wasn't even that good of a fight. I think you see Tony Jaa a little better than Aiko, but he's still underutilized. I wonder. At least Aiko, he's learning to speak English, and maybe it's like a third or fourth language for him. But he enunciated. It sounded good. Plus, he's the bad guy. He's not. He's just not bad guy material. I hate to say it. He's a good guy. He's like you or me. He's a regular dude. That he's the one that should be fighting insurmountable odds and overcoming. But he was actually okay as a bad guy. There was no like evil mastermind overseeing every. There was, but you don't find out till the last 10 minutes. But yeah, overall, I was pretty disappointed with Expendables 4. And yeah, I'm very forgiving with most movies. Like I really like The Predator. I can't think of another like. I like Doom with The Rock. Punisher Warzone. But this, I don't think. Shoot. Just because of Aiko and Tony, it's the only reason to see this. What's his name? Andy Garcia. I thought he was channeling like Pacino a little bit at the end. And just spoilers, like they obliterate Andy Garcia's character Wash with like a Gatling gun. And it was cool, like his body just falls apart, but it was all CGI, and I was thinking, this is a movie that comes on the theaters. Couldn't they build like a puppet and just blow it apart like RoboCop or like Friday the 13th or something? They could. It's like just see his body like a fold of piece, or like in 13 Hours, The Secret Soldiers of Benghazi. There's some they blow dudes to pieces that look better than this. So Expendables 4, I was very disappointed. Garth, he fell asleep like within the first 15 minutes, and he didn't miss anything. So yeah, it was very disappointed. Now that's like Snake Eyes, the origin of Snake Eyes movie. Aiko was in that. They didn't let him unleash. He was in that Stuber movie. Now this, just let him do what he does. I don't know what. I mean, I want him to be in more movies. Maybe he should just go back to Indonesia already, or this like Asian movie market, and do those. He's more appreciated there. And Tony Jaa, was that his voice? I hope so, because he learned. If it was, he's learned to speak English. Very like a lot better than what you would expect if you know Tony. Okay, I don't know how much time we got left. So I watched Night of the Dead from 2006. That was the same tape that I had The Quick and the Undead and Severed, Forest of the Dead. And finally, like, okay, this is the last movie on the tape. Night of the Dead. I rented this, I recorded it. Out of these three zombie movies, this is the worst and the best of them. This movie is horrible, but it's so bad it's pretty good. It's not Galaxy Invader. It's not Track of the Moon Beast. It's not Manos Hands of Fate. It's not 2020 Texas Gladiators. It's another great. It's not Ninja Zombie, but it was pretty good. It was like if this had come out like in the 70s or early 80s, I think it would be remembered just for how bad it is. It's just story is real disjointed. It's a German doctor. Oh yeah, his wife and daughter get run over, and that part was funny. It was great. Like they use these dummies and like they just stand in the street and the car hit them, and then you see them going to the wheels. That was good. It's illogical. They bring a frog back to life in the beginning, and the German scientist smashes it with his shoe. That was great. It's actually terrible, but At least it was gory. The gore was horrible, but good. And then at the end, it got pretty good. Just goes off the rails. It was just totally stupid. But this is like I'm gonna keep this one because you can't find the DVD of Night of the Dead. I looked. It was such a generic title. I was reading reviews. They're either like, this is the worst thing I've ever seen, or it's like the best thing I've ever seen. And I'm sure those reviews are people that worked on the movie. There's no way you could think this is a good movie, but it delivered. They use a shotgun, and there's no like, it's not real. Like the guy just like pulls a trigger and there's no fire or anything. They just like, he's like a strobe effect real quick. But they don't even care. They just blatantly use it. The zombies talk. Some don't. Some seem to be superhuman. Some do front flips. There's one part where one of the nurses and like the doctor's helper are gonna, I guess, set the zombies on fire, and the nurse just falls and gets dragged away, but there's nothing dragging her. And like the guy, he like shuffles after her. He'll see her leg go around the corner, he'll look, and I was like, how did they not just get someone to drag someone? That was hilarious. Yeah, and actually it got really stupid at the end, but it was good. I would like to get the DVD of it, but I wouldn't watch this again because it's just so bad. It's I don't want to build it up too much because it's really boring. Oh, there's some nudity. Oh yeah, actually, maybe I will build it up because there's some parts I was like, this is like almost Bruno Mattei levels of silliness. But I can only, like, in clear conscience, give it 2 Hands of Fate because it is not good, but it is. So, Expendables 4, Night of the Dead are kind of like the same movie, except for Tony and Aiko. I would just rather see them I'd rather just watch Aiko do push-ups and pull-ups. So I guess that's it, but I forgot to show, I got the Incredibly Strange Films of Ray Dennis Steckler. So, see if I can review some of his for Halloween. Getting closer to the month of October. Thank you for watching. Let me know some of your favorite character actors, or if you like James Russo, John Russo, Elias Koteas, Costas Mandylor, Miguel Ferreira, or whoever you like. So, I'm gonna go. I'm pretty tired. I'll see you.